Good afternoon, friends. Welcome back to the Purple Mountain Spiritual Centre's Facebook Live. I don't know quite remember how many videos we've done, but I hope that you are enjoying them. We're hoping, if we can, to continue doing the Facebook Live videos. We've got another one coming up tomorrow, and on Saturday we're doing some live readings. So if you're interested in receiving a message from your loved one in spirit, me and Chris will be doing some angel card readings. So please log in tomorrow and Saturday as well as Sunday. Okay. But today's live video is a little different, and we've never done something like this before, and we're hoping that you're going to enjoy it. And we're going to be doing some poems, some writings, and some quotations, all from spirit. And here at the Purple Mountain, we take pride that we work hand in hand with the spirit world, and we try to do our best to try to inspire people that walk through the doors here, to try to inspire them. And that's not just the knowledge that we share, but also some of the inspiration, the writings, the poems, the artwork that we do, all about trying to bring hope and peace and love and centre our hearts, centre our bodies, and to look within, to look at the darkness and the weakness that lies within all of us, and we've got to sort of make those amendments within us. Hope you're all tuning in now. We're just going to wait a couple of minutes before you all get onto the page so that we can link in with you.
Elizabeth's watching.
Oh, hi Elizabeth, hope you're alright, hope you're keeping safe. I hope John's alright. Sending much love and healing to you both. Hope you're doing continue with your meditations. You know, as Albert always said, the Spirit always watching, they're always guiding and inspiring us. Now, I've chosen a couple of poems and a couple of writings, and I've also chosen Little Raven. Now, Little Raven's one of the guides, one of the inspirers that works with us here at the Purple Mountain, not just here with us, but he's somebody that draws close to our vibration to try to help and guide us, and he's been with us for quite some time now, and he communicates through the trance medium and passes on such wonderful knowledge and philosophy and guidance. And now we'll be reading out one of his direct transcripts that our sister Margaret, she's one of our transcribers at the Purple Mountain, and she does such a good job in transcribing a lot of our tapes, and we record a lot of our trance sittings with spirit, and we record a lot of the physical mediumship that we do here at the Purple Mountain, so that we can get them into manuals and books and to reach out to as many people as we can. Okay, so I'm going to start off. I'd like to welcome those that are just...
Lindsay as well.
Hi Lindsay, hope you're alright. Is today your day off? You're not working today? We're sending much love. Make sure you're nice and comfortable, you've got a nice cup of tea with you, and just relax. And we're doing something, we'll be reading out some poems and some writings, and just sit and chill and relax, and just take a nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And I'm going to begin by reading out my first writing. It's actually a poem. And I wrote this myself. I was inspired by spirit, and I was inspired by two healing guides that work closely with us, called Matsumoto and Natsuki. And Natsuki was one of the very first healing guides that drew close to our healing sanctuary many years ago, way before our sister Sue took charge in that sense, and she was a healing guide. She still is a healing guide that works with us, and they both originated from the country of Japan, which means that was the life that they were most happiest, and the way they perceived themselves to us, and they inspired me with their unconditional love. And it's about the sakura tree, the cherry blossom tree, and I wrote this I think about 7 or 8 years ago, and it's not a writing that I often read out, and I want to read it out today because of the gentleness and the lovingness behind the words, I feel. And I'm hoping that you will be inspired as much as I was inspired reading it again this morning. Okay, so you can close your eyes, my friends, or just listen with your eyes open and just watch as I just read out this poem. Here we stand beneath the arch of the rising sun, dancing with the wind as children of youth having fun. The snowdrops that falls from heaven's reach, messages from the rays of the mighty sun that is there to teach, warming our hearts never to fade, sharing this love no longer afraid. Words of our ancestors, droplets of their tears, will bring new beginnings, setting away our yearly fears. Freshness and crisp of the season's goodbye, I feel so free and no longer alone, never to die. Loving touch that nature always provides, no more tears that only conquers and divides. Branches interwoven, unbreakable bond, setting apart from what is right and what is wrong. New shoots, a journey of peace and of growth, for I will never break this truthful oath. For the voice of the wind echoing through time, breaking the stillness as many take the climb. Like the sprinkle of spring's first rain, cherry blossom falls across the golden grain. Light as crane's white feather, never letting go of hope, always holding on together. Fluttering above like youthful souls, never letting go of dreams and loving goals. Drawn to the beauty of the eyes of all, nature provides sweetness that will always fall. Moments swept like the waves of the raging sea, keep each other safe and wrapped in love, for this is our plea. Dance in the moonlight and above the shooting stars, love and beauty that can only mend our many scars. Wisdom that comes in every aging year, love and beauty that can never disappear. To return upon tradition, unbreakable vows, loving unconditionally as much as the heart allows. Roots as strong as the mighty shield, a tender kiss marked and forever sealed. And I hope you've enjoyed that one. And that's one that I did quite a number of years ago, and it's called Sakura. And if you like a free copy of any of our poems or writings, just inbox us and we'll be happy to send it through email. Thank you. And I'd like to share another writing that I did, and it's a little bit fun, and it's called Little Shadow. And it's the little shadows that follow us as the sun appears. And it's about a little girl or little boy, if you wish, that plays in nature, and I hope that you'll find it light-hearted and you'll smile. Okay. And it's called Little Shadow. Follow you, follow me there under that tree, behind that rock, under that leaf, sheltered together with no more grief. Run quickly, follow the light, run around the tree, hold it tight. Don't let go, follow the sun, jump up, catch her, have some fun. No more tears, so much to do, look at the sky, so white and blue. Blow and push and hold your breath, life is all around, there is no death. Trees rustle round, they cheer me on, I dance with my shadow as I sing my song. Splash the puddles with mighty feet as I eat my apple that tastes so sweet. Butterflies to catch, so I try, so much to do, I never question why. The wind pushes me and guides me so, follow the dandelion, seeds, off I go. Skip and dance and walk and run, climb the tree, shadow, let's have some fun. Against every branch a step to go, look at the water that makes me grow. The leaves clap off, I climb, why rush, there is no time. To the top, let's catch the sun, you're behind, shadow, look, I've won. Look above, the sun has danced away, she has left me, shadow, I want her to stay. Where have you gone? I cannot see. The moon has appeared upon the tree. Shadow, please come back, let's dance some more. There is so much we have to do, I'm sure. I shed a tear, my shadow friend now gone. I look above and see the moon look at me like the sun. Don't cry, the moon softly said. I will bring your friend back using this golden thread. I will ask the sun to shine her light upon me each night. I will be there, my friend, each night, no matter how slight. Use this thread so you never again apart, dancing together, little shadows, your golden hearts. And I hope you've enjoyed that one. That's a bit light-hearted. Okay, and I wrote that poem about a couple of years ago. Okay, I'm now going to follow on with a writing, not a poem, a writing that I did last year, and it was part of our circle homework, and we run a home circle here at the Purple Mountain that's been running for nearly 47 years. Not that I've sat in circle for 47 years, but the actual circle's been running for 47 years. I've been very privileged to be sat in circle for about 15 years now, and that's where I did a lot of my grounding, a lot of my first spiritual work, which was just simply sitting, sending my love and sending my energies out and being in the energies. And this is called Anubis, keeper of the underworld. And there's underlining philosophy behind this writing, and I'm hoping that you can work it out. I won't give you all the answers. And it's a couple pages long, and I hope that you'll be inspired by this writing. In a house not far from the Nile lived an ordinary Egyptian family. For hundreds of years this family lived and farmed, cultivating crops and fished from the river. They lived side by side with the animals and respected the land. They prayed each day to the gods for good health and prosperity. They paid their taxes to the priest of Karnak and gave offerings to the Pharaoh, whom had dominion over his people. They sold their plentiful harvest in the markets and brought little carved marble statues of the gods and placed them outside the house and by the windows. One year, a terrible drought came and caused famine in the lands of Egypt, which meant that they starved and many died of hunger. Animals perished too, and the Egyptian family thought the gods abandoned them. The farmer and his wife tried to keep their 3 children alive, giving them the last bread and fish. Days later, the farmer's wife stumbled to some old jars that were filled with honey, grains and old fermented fish. She had forgotten that they were hidden under the floor of the kitchen. Instead of feeding her children the food that she found, she walked many miles to the temple of Karnak. She placed the 3 jars of food to the offering stand and fell to the floor. Have I not been a faithful servant to you, gods? I have given birth to 3 beautiful children. I have been faithful to my husband, and I have prayed to my Pharaoh and to the gods all my life. Why have you displeased me? We need a good harvest this year to feed the family and feed the animals. No God replied to her. Anger and hopelessness fell heavy in her heart. She walked back to her home and found that one of her children had died. She couldn't stop crying, and she had lost faith in the gods. She felt angry that the gods would not listen to her. Days passed, and as the family tried to work the land, the heavens opened and the banks of the Nile rose again. This year became one of the most bountiful years of Egypt. The wife was still filled with so much sadness. If only she had waited a few more days and not gave away the jars of food, her child would still be alive. Years had now passed, and the farmer and his wife blessed with old age. The wife fell ill and passed to the underworld. When the wife awoke, she opened her eyes and saw Anubis standing at the side of the bed. "You have died, my daughter. I shall take you to the underworld." She did not hesitate. She stood up and looked over and saw her dead body and all her living children and grandchildren mourning over her passing. She walked through her house and down past the Nile bank and into the ancient temples of old. "I am afraid," the wife said to Anubis. "I am afraid I will not be allowed to go to heaven because I allowed my child to die, and I was angry with the gods." Anubis looked straight down and softly said, "Yes, I know, my daughter, but I am not here to judge you. We will weigh your heart to the feather to see if you have been good in this life." The wife looked even sadder and gently wept. She walked slowly down towards the great dividing wall, greeted by the judges of hearts. Anubis reached within the wife's chest and ripped her spirit heart out. The heart flickered slowly, emitting small flickers of light, but it also emitted shadows of dark. "Place this heart on the scale, Anubis," the judges firmly said. He placed the heart on the scales and then placed a single feather on the other side. The scales rocked from side to side slowly. The heart was heavy with grief and pain and pulled the scales down. Anubis looked at the wife and said, "You have been judged and you must go to hell for your punishment." The wife said nothing, and as she was about to walk over the great dividing wall, Anubis reached down quietly and said, "You must give something as a gift, as I have helped you here." "But I have nothing," the wife sadly said. "But you do, daughter. You have your heart. You do not need it in hell." She reached over and gave her heart that was filled with pain, guilt and sadness to Anubis. As she did, this big bright light illuminated over them, and within seconds she drifted to heaven, where she was greeted by her child that had died years before. She quickly ran over, hugging and kissing each other. "But I do not understand. I thought I was going to hell." "My heart was filled with anger towards the gods," her child replied. "Mother, until you gave up the hurt and the pain, you could not move on. Only you had the power to release this sadness, and when you were willing to move on to the light." "Was Anubis then the figment of my imagination?" the mother asked. And Anubis again appeared to the wife and softly said, "Most likely it is your imagination, my daughter of Egypt. But does this mean it is less real? Go now and live your life forever in peace." Hope you've enjoyed my writing on ancient Egypt, on that lovely lady that thought she was going to hell, and actually she wasn't. She went to heaven. I'm going to do another writing, another light-hearted poem, and it's called The Wind. And actually, I won't mention any names, but I actually wrote this writing for one of our good friends who plays a big part here at the Purple Mountain. I actually wrote this about her. And I'm not calling her a witch, but you'll understand what this writing is about. And there's philosophy in all the writing, and it's called The Wind. Listen to the wind, what a ghostly sound, lying in bed as the trees rustle round. Against the crackling window deep at night, witches are scratching to give me a fright. Oh, what a trembling thoughts those sounds outside. Block out those howling wolves. Oh God, I've tried. But that wind keeps me long awake. The witches will come, make no mistakes. Shadows lurk as the cars slowly pass. My eyes won't shut. Will this nightmare forever last? Creak! I hear the window open slight. Ding dong, the clock strikes 12. It's midnight. Look, I scream as the witches enter in. As the shadows stretch, no escape, I cannot win. Under the quilt, that's where I quickly hide. I pray to God, please come to my side. Pick up the torch and shine that light. Ha! This weapon that will give the witch a fright. To blind her eyes so I may escape my bed before she grabs me, in which I dread. No chance I'll take, I make my first move. Courage and bravery I must indeed myself prove. As the heart beats so fast like a bullet in a gun, shall I fight her or shall I run? As I lift my quilt and tilt my head, I stretch my leg over my wooden bed. The bed creaks too, whoa, what a careless thought. Shine your light over, courage I must prove. Where has she gone? I know she's there. Is she there in my wardrobe or hiding behind my chair? Tiptoe, I silently cross my room until I bang against my desk. Boom! Oh, what have I done? This is it, I will surely die. The witch will come to get me, I'm sure of it. Oh, I will cry. Run, run, as the legs sprint to the door. Outrun the shadows that stretch like a withered claw. It's her, I scream, as I grab with all my might. Open that door, I shout. Bring in the light. The darkness now gone, the shadows too. The bright light has saved me. Oh, I always knew. What silence, no noise in sight. Has the witch took her stick and took her flight? Will she ever return? Will she ever come another night? Will I need to outrun her again and shine my light? I turn to the mirror and what do I see? That all along the witch was always me. Okay. Hope you've enjoyed that rendition. I hope I didn't over-exaggerate some of the words there, but I thoroughly enjoyed reading out that poem. I'm now going to read my last writing, which before I hand over to Chris, and Chris has chosen a couple of his poems and writings, and he'll surely inspire with his things as well. And this is about 5 or 6 pages, so make sure you're nice and relaxed. And it's a transcript by Little Raven. And so this is word from word from our good, lovely brother Little Raven from the spirit world that spoke through our trance medium. We've directly transcribed his words. And he talks about the animals. So if you've got a big heart and you want to know more about animal healing and about why we meet and the old Indian ways, and it's fantastic philosophy. So make sure you're nice and snug, nice and relaxed, get a blanket around you and relax. I have come to you all once more in the hope of helping you, in the hope of guiding you, in the hope of furthering your understanding on how our animal friends, our brothers, our sisters are connected to us all. I have spoken to you all, have I not, not on the circle of life, but how our animal friends are within this circle, like you and I. That a snail, a wolf, a zebra, a fly are our teachers, as you are my teacher and I yours. Do you understand this, my friends? When I lived upon the earth plane, we had many ritual ceremonies, and we revered our animal friends. But you may say, Little Raven, if you love animals and regard them as your sister and as your brother, then why did you kill them? Why did you eat them? Our bodies needed food, did they not? But we only took from the forest, we only took from the circle of life what was needed. We were not farmers, we were not collectors of food. We did not chain, slaughter or capture our animal friends, nor did we place them into slavery. What I see upon the earth plane is many places where our animal friends are caged, are battered and bruised and are in great pain, who are in deep suffering and that they are kept in small spaces with no room to love, to feel and to experience a life. It saddens me greatly, my friends, that man believes that our animal friends are only there to feed man's body and nothing else matters. For all our animals have the right to choose, to experience a physical life like you and I, do they not, my beautiful friends? They have the right, a free will to live freely without fear and without suffering caused by the hands of man. We do not advise or inspire not to slaughter what your body needs. For if you did not feed your body, your physical body will die, will it not? The earth plane has seen much change. Knowledge expands and extends after each year. Knowledge over time is like a book. Each year you learn, new pages are written. After centuries have passed, more pages are written, are they not? So that knowledge the Indian people had is not the same knowledge you have now, my friends. For your knowledge has expanded too. It may have been lost but not forgotten, and this inner knowledge will always be within your spirit. When I lived on the earth plane, life was simple. We took only what was needed. There was no need for greed or selfishness. Yes, my friends, the Indian way was hard and difficult, and we faced many challenges during the winter times, and we had to battle forth against tribe. It was part of our learning and our human suffering, as you are all learning, and we still fought man against man. There is still war and battles fought still even today upon the earth plane. And yet we have not learnt much from what was been. So man is still not learning and still making mistakes. My friends, with all the knowledge you have learned, and as mankind has progressed, more of our sisters and brothers no longer need to eat meat of our animal friends, because the world is sharing knowledge with each other. Special herbs, spices, roots, when I lived upon the earth, I had no knowledge of. With the knowledge now, with your spiritual attunement and development, growth and knowledge and love, you will in time see and feel that you no longer need to eat meat of our brothers and sisters. They are our family. It is not the way of a spirit to progress, to become enlightened, to search for contentment and search for total harmony. Mankind will not face your heightened consciousness if mankind continues to eat our animal friends. These are simple spiritual truths. With all your knowledge you have gained, understood and accepted in your hearts, use this knowledge to feed your spirit and bring forth that inner awareness. For times have changed, have they not? There is no room for mankind to return the simple Indian way, nor would we want to. That, my friends, mankind can build a better future, build upon philosophy and teachings of the Indian way. When I lived upon the earth plane, and I have spoken to you on this many times, have I not, on how our animal friends are our teachers. But my friends, I wish to teach you in time to become an animal friend through guided meditations, where you'll be able to fly like an eagle and roar like a lion, run like a cheetah and swim like a dolphin. You have all understood the words of overshadowment, have you not, my friends? The times of how a healer in the spirit world can draw close to you. There is no value anymore for life, and that greed and selfishness has built a circle of fear around the world. So many of our brothers and sisters, our animal friends, can no longer return and reincarnate because of their physical bodies are now forever lost and become extinct. But not all is lost. For your light, your love will lead mankind out of this time of uncertainty, a time of suffering, to bring forth a time of healing. For you are as worthy as any other to hold the flames of hope. The world would never change by that of power, but that those who are mightier than those, who are true warriors like yourselves, who will heal the circle of life and not break it. To become the spirit of an animal, not many can do this. You will need to become patient with yourself. You need to draw close to the animal kingdom. Show them your love. Touch them. Feel them. Connect with them. This is your duty, the flames of your spirit, to teach and guide others as I have guided and inspired you. To respect life, to protect life, to treat life as your equal, and that life is precious, life is pure. To become the spirit of an animal is a great privilege. You must sit in your meditations and call upon the spirits of the animal kingdom. They will assist you and guide you upon your earthly matters. I shall tell you, when we hunted only what was needed. We slaughtered a buffalo, all the warriors would surround it and place the dying buffalo upon the ground. We placed our hands on the ground and asked Mother Earth for permission to take our animal friends as our own food, for we needed it to replenish our bodies and the bodies of our family and tribe. We showed total respect. We would then pray for the buffalo's return to the spirit world would be pure. We would thank the Great Spirit for the food in which was given to us, not taken to us. Do you understand this? We taught our children to respect all life, not to fear it, but to respect it. That all our bodies needed came from the earth and from the circle of life. Food we ate was our medicine. This is why, my friends, there are so many problems upon the earth plane. For greed has taken over spirituality. And now the circle of life is out of balance. If our tribe hunted well and we had plenty of food or water, corn, seeds, herbs, and the news travelled to other tribes that our brothers and sisters in another tribe was hungry, we would share our food. For the food did not belong to us, but belonged to all. So how can we keep it for ourselves? Profit should not be made through harvesting Mother Earth's bountiful medicine. For if your food comes from the earth, it belongs to the earth. It should be free. Mankind has lost their way and has become blinded by fear and ignorance. Your world belongs to our world, and our world belongs to yours. Like on your spirit, it must work in harmony. This is why the earth plane is so important for the progression of the spirit and the progression of my spirit. We all belong to the great circle of light. This light binds our spirits, binds our strength, our will, binds our morals and compassions. It binds our kindness, our will to become the true spiritual warrior. To lead a spiritual life, you may say, is not easy, but it can be, my friends. There are so many that have allowed materialism to consume them for money and gold. Even this beautiful sanctuary in which you have named the Purple Mountain, does it not, my friends? It does not belong to you. It does not belong to the leaders and the caretakers. You all owe your life to one another. I owe my life, my love, my light to you all, my friends. You all might wear gold upon your fingers, your ears and nose, but the true and beautiful gold weighs heavier in a material life. True beauty lies within, my friends. Strip it away, what you have around you, for the more you have, the more you take, the less your heart will weigh. The more you buy within your money, the less you have. The more you take, for we say, do we not, that when we return home to the spirit world, you return with no clothes, with no gold and no money. You bring only back what's within your spirit. Your spirit has no room for materialism, for it is only a burden that chains and shackles the spirit, And this makes your journey back home weaker and slower, does it not, my friends? Free yourselves, for when you all return to spirit, you will sit and contemplate your life you have led. You will all remember the words in which you have spoken. Memories once lost will resurface, for the spirit truth is not, and the spirit never forgets. The spirit light is love and warmth. It has no room for ego, for fear or lies or unkindness or pain or suffering. My friends, you have all returned upon the earth as brave and mighty warriors. Your bravery, your courage is seen by many here in the spirit world. You guides look on and send their love and their light to assist you and help you, but they cannot interfere in your progression. By seeing your bravery, the courage has encouraged other bright lights to return upon the earth. There are even more bright lights that return upon the earth now than ever before in the history of mankind. For this is now the time to awaken the spirit, to bring the great golden era back to humanity. They call you mediums, spiritual artists, shamans, trance mediums, physical mediums, so many names. I call you all healers. That is what you do. You heal the hearts of humanity. When you work side by side with your spirit family, who love you, who guide you unconditionally, who inspire you, who do not judge you, who have so much patience and tolerance for you. For you have chosen a spiritual life. You must be the warriors we were not. For there are many who lose their way, who allow to become consumed by hatred, by grief, by pain, by fear, by grief, and they continue suffering in this loop. There are many who have truly lost their way, and many here can speak wisely when they had lost their way, but you have always found your way back home. Have those experiences made you wiser, I wonder? Has it made you more compassionate? Has it made you more humbled that you have stumbled and that you have fallen, that you have made these mistakes? But you have not forgotten where you have come from. For many of our brothers and sisters work side by side with the spirit world, forget where they have come from. They call this word grounding, but I name this in my own way. You must always respect yourselves and your past, and look behind sometimes where those footsteps and footprints have been made. There are many here upon the earth who are faithful by accepting the ways of the great Almighty Spirit and the philosophy and the teachings of the simple spiritual truths in which are and will always be. Some have tried to change these words, but truth can never be changed, and it will always radiate through like the mighty sun. Some are frightened to accept this simply. It is perhaps too simple to understand. They do not wish to face the challenges of the Spirit, and many allow fear to guide them. But I have spoken many times, have I not, on the word fear. I only teach simple spiritual truths, my friends. There are only two energies that resides within all us, and that is light and love, and fear. Fear is, of course, an illusion that we build upon and feed, and which we must all fight against. Which one do you feed? You decide. As you all become stronger, and by becoming stronger you let go of your internal fears that clouds you, that makes you blind, that confuses you, and you will let go. Have you all experienced walking naked in a forest by a riverside, or felt so free? In your homes, have you walked around naked around your homes before? Did you all feel free then? You are all my friends. I am always here to guide you, as you must let go of your fears and become a fearless warrior, but a wise warrior. But we do not want you to become a reckless warrior. A fearless warrior is still wise, is he not? He's still courageous and brave. A wise warrior knows his boundaries. He can see, he can hear and feel the pain and energies of the animal kingdom, the trees, the flowers. He hears the sounds and the dance of the wind and the moon and the stars. In your life upon the earth plane, you face many circles of life and healing. You grow to love your mother and your father as a child. That is your first circle of love that you learn, do you not? Then you must grow to wise teachers, the teachers that become your educators, to learn the ways of your history, maths and science. You meet many friends, some you love, others you will fight with. So you learn to love and to hate. This is a circle that you learn and love, so your spirit grows and expands. Then you learn and grow even more. And as you get older, you begin to learn to love your animals and the earth, for this is another circle of love that you will learn. And as you continue to grow, you will meet your soul partner, a life partner, and you learn another circle about love. If you, my brother and sister, is to throw a stone in water, what happens, my friends? It creates a ripple. It starts with a small ripple, does it not? And then it expands. And the more you progress, you love, the circle expands. The circle should expand beyond your family, your friends, your animals, your trees, your flowers. And then you shall face an important circle of love, which is the love of Mother Earth. And my friends, this is not the largest of circles that you must learn to become strong and wise healer. My sister and brothers, the largest of circle is how you can learn to love yourselves. For there are many that cannot. And that is where we must all begin, as young children, learn to love ourselves. To learn to love birds, to learn to love all creatures of the earth. And then, my sisters and brothers, you will face the most difficult challenges of your spiritual progression. And that is to learn to love yourselves. And this is the most important part of all spiritual attunement. Do you all understand this? But my friends, I only wish to teach you so that you may all see and feel, for you can all become blinded and deaf and not able to speak if you restrict yourselves for that light, that truth, and that unconditional love that radiates within all our hearts. You all seek the ways of the great Almighty Spirit. Respect and harmony are the foundations of the circle of life in which we all belong, in spirit and here upon the earth. Even the mountain, the sun, the oceans, the trees, the forest, the stones, the wind, the water are all part of the circle of life. For what is the circle of life? A fish cannot swim in water, or you breathe the air in which was created by the earth. Every element of the life has its place. We shall no longer call a tree a flower. This is a bird, this is a buffalo, this is a mountain. Simply use these words. You are my sister, you are my brother, and I thank you for teaching me. For the buffalo is your brother and your sister. The mighty eagle is your sister and your brother. If we all belong to the circle of life, then look with one another and show gratitude and respect to one another. We must respect each other, for you are my brother. You have learnt much upon your earthly life. And this learning has not only come from the mountains and the animals in which I've shown you, but you have learnt much by your brother and sister here, have you not? They have been your teachers, and I have been their teacher. Mankind believes that they are on top of the mountain, looking down on its animals, and a buffalo can teach little Raven much. The snake can teach me as much as my sister and brother can. I am not a chief or a king. I am not better than my sister or brother. I am not better than a buffalo, a snake or a tree. They are my equal and they are my teachers. You are my teacher. I look upon your spirit now and see your courage, your bravery in all that you have learned. I hear our sisters and brothers that speak these words. I only love lions. I only love dogs or cats. But if your love is pure and is unconditional, you will love all creatures equally. You will even learn to love your greatest enemies that have hurt you, that have hurt mankind. For love does not divide. It does not create a border. It does not create walls. Love is as free as the oceans, free as the rain and the water that flows. Water gives you life and feeds you. Many of our sisters and brothers speak these words. I cannot give much more energy, for I need the energy for myself. But the more you give, it shall always be given back. This is the way of the circle of love, is simply to sit and send out your love in your meditations. The more you give, the stronger the light within will radiate, like the mighty sun. You are here to create, so go out and create. To learn to love more than you can. You may think this is difficult, but set yourselves free, my friends. The love will be strong as the mighty sun, a fire that will never go out. Walk in peace. I hope you've enjoyed it, that beautiful story, that beautiful philosophy done by Little Raven. I'm just going to finish off with 2 quotations, and I want you to now do a bit of homework if you can, and it's 2 quotations that I've chosen, and Chris has chosen 2 of his quotations, and these have been directly from Spirit. And please type away on the Facebook Live now and tell me what you think that quotation's about. So it's about engaging yourself in that philosophy, because everybody can take something different from each philosophy. So let me mention the first quotation, and I'll repeat it a couple of times. And this was done by a spirit called White Owl. A river that flows both ways blinds the spirit. So I'll repeat it again. A river that flows both ways blinds the spirit. And that was done by a gentleman called White Owl. I'm going to say my second quotation of today, and it starts with, a person that does not believe in darkness has never fought for the light. And I really like that one. And that was done by one of our sitters from the circle below that works with light and dark, that helps rescue lost souls. And let me repeat it again. A person that does not believe in darkness has never fought for the light. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed my first part. So just have a bit of a think on those quotations and have another listen. And now I'm going to pass on to our good brother, Chris. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, good afternoon everyone. I hope you're keeping safe and well and keeping your spirits up. Just want to say hello to all our friends everywhere really, and also to our friends who would normally be visiting the Purple Mountain quite regular. Lots of love to everyone, and also to a lot of our visiting medium friends as well across the northwest and a little bit further. Just say a big hello, and a few have been online today. I spotted a few there, Patricia Hesketh, Rob Tweedy, and there's many more, but I just want to say hello to you. So I've been asked to choose some writings today. I'm going to start with one that was inspired to do a while ago, which is on a little bit of a different subject that's not been touched on today, and it's a little bit of a writing on rescue work really. And what it touches on, in the basic sense, there are those that might need that help when they pass to spirit, just as we stumble and fall here. It's all the same. So this in many ways is about that time of stumbling and falling, and that we all need that helping hand. And it was inspired to me by a spirit called Joe Pike as well, that's worked with us for many years. So I hope you enjoyed this writing. Into the shadows I may sit, but the light within me still remains. Into the shadows I remain until I find who is to blame. Blame for my loss and pain, knowing that I would never be the same. Where is the truth? Where has it gone? Now I'm left to guess the cause. Was it all a mistake, or was I simply his to take? Take to this world where many sit waiting, many asking questions with a few dictating. A man comes along and says he's my friend, and he's speaking to me at last. But I have no memory of this man from my past, for I have never travelled and do not recall a Native American, feathers and all. But the words he speaks give me comfort at night, and they bring my mind to peace when I wish to fight. When I wish to find those who put me here, and let them be faced with their fear. This man's visits are coming more often over time. He makes me feel hopeful, I must say, and sometimes I want to ask him to stay. Stay and answer more of my thoughts on why we are friends. He says on my spirit this all depends. I sit in these shadows, but maybe it's time, for after all what's done is done. I cannot change what has occurred, and God I've tried. But I have a different view now and feel stronger with my friend by my side. Maybe it's time to think less of the past and try to build a new future at last. My friend comes to visit me from his native land. He wishes to take me there. All I need to do is take his hand. My heart is racing, and for this moment in time, I start remembering myself, seeing the past in many shapes and forms, seeing the loves and seeing the storms. I'm feeling so light and free of pain. I see the fire getting brighter as we move on. Then time freezes, and I see a figure in the distance. My spirit inside, it feels no resistance. My heart beating so loud for everyone to hear. My mother says, son, I love you, have no fear. Come with me, son, we have waited so long for you to be with us, now you are strong. We have so much to tell you, Dad is here. We have so much to tell you, she said with a tear. My heart made the choice, and since much has changed. Although now and then, when the time is right, I go with my friend into the night. Into the shadows we go to help others, or as I would now say, help my brothers. Help others as I was helped before. Of my friend I will say only this, he took me to heaven from the abyss. So I hope you enjoyed that one, and that was done many years ago, but a lovely writing that. And I'm going to move on now. This a little bit of a lighter one, and this was inspired me some time ago. I've read this poem out at many services, and it's called Shine as well. Quite relevant at this moment in time, this one. Shine your light for all to see. Shine your light, let your spirit be free. I see your light within as it grows, with the love and compassion each day you show. I see your light so clearly, if only you could see the beauty that lies within and all that you can be. I see your light dim when you feel hurt or in pain. Don't worry, my friend, your light will always remain. I see your light shine brighter as you smile with joy, as you help and guide each girl and boy. I see the light shine across this world like stars in the sky. The sight of these lights shining brings a tear to my eye. If only you could see how bright your lights all are, and how love and healing can be sent near or far. Let your light shine and have no fear, for those who love you are always near. Through good or bad, day or night, always let your star twinkle bright. Shine, my friends, for hope is never lost. Think on what you have that comes at no cost. Let your light shine, your spirit inside. Always be true to yourself, never to hide the love that you have and all that you know. So let go of fear and let your light show. Shine your lights for all to see. I know you have the strength to set yourself free. So I hope you enjoyed that one called Shine. Got a couple more to do before we carry on, but we hope you're enjoying these so far. And this one is a little bit different. Again, it's more what I would call a story. And we were given a little bit of a task from Spirit within Circle to, we were given a title each, and then to write a story that we're impressed with, that could be a little bit philosophical, that somebody could get something from that story. And this is the story I wrote, so I hope you enjoy it. And it's called The Mummification of My Soul, a tale of a spiritual rebirth. So I hope you enjoy this one. A long time ago, in the lands of Egypt, there lived an Egyptian lady called Rashida. Rashida was a fair and just leader. She treated all with respect and gratitude in this life and beyond. She lived in a temple called Hotep. Roughly translated, this means peace in English language. She once had one child. His name was Seth. Rashida sadly passed during the spreading of a disease at the time of her passing. Seth was only 12 years old. During the years after her passing, many of her loyal council members also passed to the spirit world as well. And Seth, her son, had been influenced by many who seeked power now, who wished to gain power in their place within this council. Seth was now 26 years old, and much of the work of his mother had slowly been changed. The temple rooms sealed and limited access for the people. Seth had become greedy, spoiled, and was known for using others to build, cook, serve, and gave very little, if anything, in return, claiming that gods would reward him if they deemed him worthy. One day Seth had took a party of men on an expedition into the deserted lands. They came across a cave within the ground, many miles away from their home. Seth and the two guards were the first to go into the cave. If there was anything to see, Seth wishes to see it first. Deep into the cave, there was a sudden noise, movement in the land. Rocks fell, thunder struck, and the cave was sealed shut. Seth's two guards were killed in the crashing of the rocks. He was alone and sealed into this cave. Several days passed. Seth had a small supply of water, but he began to become hungry and tired. He had exhausted all efforts to escape from the cave. The cave was sealed tight. Looking around the cave, Seth saw unusual markings that he wasn't familiar with from the ancients. Seth began to search for food in a desperate attempt to stay alive. He saw a small leafy plant that he did not recognize. He removed the leaves and ate them with no hesitation. Several hours later, Seth felt strange and began to feel a little sleepy. Another hour passed and Seth began to have strange visions. This plant he had eaten was not quite what he thought. He began to cough and vomit uncontrollably, purging what it would seem. After this passed, he couldn't believe his eyes. He saw a panther. He remembered this panther. It protected him as a child. Seth looked into its eyes and he felt the love that he had long forgotten from his friend and protector. The panther stepped back and Seth saw a light appear and a figure stepped out. It was Thoth, the god of wisdom and knowledge. Thoth spoke to Seth. My brother, you have forgotten yourself. You have returned to open your heart to your fellow man and inspire the people. You are failing, my brother. You have become greedy, selfish, and you have mummified your soul. You have removed your own heart and wrapped your soul in so many bandages you cannot feel it anymore. My brother, remember who you are. Remember why you've come here. And remember your life is sacred. Seth was in awe, speechless. As he came back, he screamed, answer my questions, in confusion and fear. Thoth spoke for a final time. My brother, Seth, the answers lie within your soul. Think to your heart and remove the bandages. Remember, life is sacred, were Thoth's final words to him. Seth was so confused. Had he died? What had happened? Everything went dark once more, and Seth began to catch his breath and calm. Seth would then begin to see ancestors, long past, walking towards him. He could see them as if they were really there. Seth shouted, I don't believe it. No. At that point, a gentle voice of a lady spoke. It was his mother, Rashida. Seth, my son, my beautiful boy, you have lost your way. But it isn't too late, for all is not lost. These are lessons you had to learn, so learn by them, my son. We could not interfere, for it was your path to walk. Love, compassion and knowledge, you have them all, my son, within you. Seth cried, Mother! He knew he had begun to feel within his heart and see all the deeds, good or bad. Seth then spoke, Mother, I hear your words. I promise, if I live, I will honour my soul. Seth then fell into a deep sleep. He woke hours later, the sun shining in his eyes. The rock had been broken through of this cave. A rescue party had finally arrived to move enough rocks for him to escape from this cave. Seth returned home and took several weeks in solitude to recover, and he began to understand the mummification of his soul, that he had hurt himself by not loving himself after the loss of his mother. Seth would remove and move on to dissolve his armies. He would reopen the temples for every man, woman and child, including a dedication to the arts and the studies of the stars and respect of the afterlife. He shared all his monies, all his gold, and only kept a small living quarters, just enough for himself. He encouraged learning, understanding, a love for the animal kingdom, for the earth and all life. In time, he was so loved and well respected that many would travel miles to build and work for him on his temples and schools of their own free will. Seth would grow and learn each day and sit in meditation, often connecting with his ancestors, the stars and the universe. He had saved himself, and in turn, by loving himself, again he had learned to give unconditional love to others. When Seth passed to the spirit world, he took his place in the stars alongside his mother, and his two daughters continued his work in their own special way, understanding, light and compassion. The end. So I hope you enjoyed that, friends. It's quite a story, that, so it's something hopefully we can all take from. I hope you've enjoyed those writings I've done, okay, and you've got a little bit of philosophy, or maybe you've just enjoyed them being read this afternoon, just where we have this moment together. So I'm now going to do my quotations, okay. Now these have all been inspired by Spirit. We've actually dug some of them out from our archives. We don't always get a chance to go over things as much as we'd like. We're very privileged in many ways to have quite a good communication with Spirit. So we receive so much information sometimes. So this is what we're doing with our time now. We're taking that time to go back on it and bring it forward to you where we can. But the first quotation I wish to give to you is this, and like Stephen said, if you want to give your interpretation, please feel free to do so on the comments of this video. And the first one is, you've stumbled, good, now pick yourself up and try again. So I'm going to read that one again. You've stumbled, good, now pick yourself up and try again. So I hope you enjoyed that one. Okay, and this one now is a little bit different. So another quotation, you are only as strong as the last footprint you made. So you are only as strong as the last footprint you made, which is a very interesting one, that. So any thoughts on those two quotations? And in fact, all the quotations are today. I hope you've enjoyed all the philosophy we've filled today with you. We've managed to fill a gap of your time, even if we're breaking the day up for you and giving you this little spiritual hour. We're happy to do that, and we're sort of happy to be part of it as well. Tomorrow we'll be doing a sound bath, so I believe that'll be at 2 o'clock again. We're doing that, so we're going to do it 2 o'clock tomorrow. So if you set that time aside, get yourself in some comfy clothes to do it. Perhaps you've got some wacky pants like we've got. And get your colours on, nice bright colours, that's really important. And so we'll be doing a sound bath, so a little bit more interactive tomorrow. And keep your spirits high, everyone. And for this afternoon, I'm going to say goodbye. Bye.